Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told how to voice radio, so today I am showing you a fairly dumb, ridiculous, call it what you like, game of Pokemon I played against my friend Nick. If you don't believe we're good friends, check the picture on the screen, and if you don't believe he is one of the best Pokemon players in the world, well, there's only two people that got top 16 at the last two World Championships. Nick was one of them. This was a fun game, it was a bit of a ridiculous game, and Nick is one of the best players in the world, so I thought of all the games I played on my stream, twitch.tv/PTCGRadio, come check in next time. This was one of the ones I had to show you, so sit back, grab yourselves a nice cold beverage, and enjoy. Let's play Nick. You better not be in the middle of a game, Nick. Yo, Ross, me and a few classmates have been making a cross-platform turn-based strategy game. We're looking for feedback before launch. Would you be interested in testing our game? Yeah, do it. Yeah, send it over. PTCGRadio at hotmail.co.uk is how to get in touch with me. So I did say we'd play Nick first. It's all right. We got time for a couple viewer battles today. So we're going to play Nick. And then, hey Nick. Pepsi Cola 2000, thank you very much for the kind words. And then, Red Jice, let me know who's up next. Oh, why go RCOL? Let me write that down. Argo RCOL. Alrighty then. British Brazilian. What is your name? Okay, Red Jice, give me the next person in. To be fair, Nick was actually supposed to be last on the stream yesterday, but because of the fairly horrific lag that kicked in, that wasn't something we were able to do. Nick got bumped. And Nick is legit one of my best friends in real life. So when you combine the he's a really good friend of mine with the he got bumped yesterday, I mean, it really does start looking cruel that we bumped him from the stream. Hello, Pieman604. So, okay, so let's go playing with this. Looks like there's some kind of mirror match afoot. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Nick is a lovely guy. Ah, Nick's also got the turn one Bridget in hand. I assume Nick will draw like a god in this game. Nick is a lovely guy. Nick actually made the trip down to Cornwall from London, and he made it for both my wedding and for my bachelor party. So, you know. Okay, so Nick's got 7 cards in hand. He's going to start next turn with 8. So we end instead of playing Cynthia here. And draw nothing. Well, nothing's an exaggeration. But we don't draw much good. Ugh. Now, what I really want to do here is I want to grab a Garbodor to turn off Nick's abilities for next turn. But if I grab the Garbodor to turn off Nick's abilities for next turn, then I'm not going to be able to actually have anything for next turn. At least here I've got some nominal draw. Oh, wow. We are really scraping the barrel here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, okay. Not ideal. We don't get the turn 1 attack, which I would have liked, but we do get to turn off abilities, which is nice. Now, there's an argument for attaching the double colorless and retreating, but either Nick takes a prize now, or Nick doesn't take a prize and I can go search for a float stone. I didn't think it was worth giving up a double colorless energy. Now, the real question in this game is how far do I go in terms of turning off abilities? Do I risk turning off my abilities to turn off Nick's? Or do I sit here without ability? Or do I sit here with abilities and give Nick his? If I keep drawing into a bursting balloon every turn, it's not going to be an issue. But I've only got 4 bursting balloon. And sooner or later, I'm going to run out. Now, if Nick... Oh, okay. So now... And we really do want to go after these bad boys because they're the things that are threatening one-hit KOs. Kind of want to turn off abilities here and just hope that Nick keeps drawing dead. Oh, this is such a risky play, and I don't think it's the right thing to do. But we're going to get rid of a double colourless so we can guarantee abilities going off next turn. Now we can trade the Bridget as well. We got another energy. Now we can power pad in the Guzma and an N. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much the very definition of a risky play. I'm going up by a prize, but I don't have any supporters or draw. Oh, yes! That's quite nice. So I'm basically turning off both of our abilities in one, hoping that it's... And the theory here is very simple. It is a bold strategy. But the theory here essentially is, I've got 2 attackers and I've got enough energy. Nick currently has no attackers and no energy on field. And I'm basically saying, find your attackers, Nick, without using Zoroark. Go through the game without having access to your Lycanroc. Oh, that's kind of upsetting because I had the Field Blower in hand. But I also did have very, very little else in hand. So maybe this will still work out. And now getting rid of that energy previously proves to be a very risky proposition. But we force Nick to play an item. Admittedly, an item. Now, can we draw an energy here? Oh, we can't draw cards. Oh, it was a risky play, ladies and gentlemen. It was a very risky play. Oh, so far it's not working out. But what I'm going to do is kind of really take my deck down as far as I can go. And play a Cynthia for 6 and cross me fingers. Now, the other thing I can do here is pop a bursting balloon down so Nick can't do another one of those ram plays next turn. Come on, give me an energy. Give me an energy. Ah. Now, if we are turning off abilities, Acid Spray could actually work here in a weird kind of way. We might as well put that energy down. Of course, we're going to top deck one next turn, but that's okay. I feel quite confident that I've ruined this game for both of us by basically getting a couple of Zoroark out and then being like, boom, no abilities. I really have changed this game a lot. Oh, he's got the Mallow. Now, I had a chance to Mallow last game, and I chose not to Mallow. Now, I've got a Guzma in hand, but Nick's only played a single... Nick's one of the commentators for the European streams. He is a very good chap. Ooh, he could actually here, if he plays Devoured Field, he could actually get a KO. I don't think he does. These decks generally don't. But he could. Oh, I'd love it if he played just like 2 more items. Then I could get a KO on a Rockruff. Oh, there's the strong energy. Go on, ram, Nick. Ram! 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 I mean, at least this bursting balloon has kind of bought me a turn. Ah! I didn't think he'd fall for it, to be honest. Oh, this is dumb. So this is not the greatest plan I've ever had, but I don't really have anything else to do right now. I might as well play a rescue stretcher, actually, because I'd quite like to have a second Garboda ready to go if it comes down to it. But that enhanced hammer really saved Nick here. Because if he hadn't hit the enhanced hammer, then I'd basically have won the game there and then. If Nick didn't have the enhanced hammer, that basically would have been game, because I'd have just been wrecking his setup the whole time. No! Boo! This was not what you were supposed to do, Nick. You were the chosen one. Now, the good news is that when I finally draw into my field blower, I can then really start letting rip and then getting items in the discard and hitting with Garboda. We've got Garboda kind of up and rolling here. And if Nick were to play... There we go. But hopefully here, this is going to be okay. Because the... to be honest, Nick's now going to... This is probably the turn when Nick goes nuts. But that's okay, because Nick's now playing item cards. So hopefully he's going to basically walk into Garboda fun time here. Yeah. And presumably he's now going to pick up... Oh, it's going to be the ability lock Garboda on the bench he's going to be going for, isn't it? Just to stop me doing what I've been doing all game. You've got to think. Oh no, he's just going for a fresh... And I think that's probably still the better play. Can I hit one? I can only hit 150. Oh, that was a good play. Now that he's got the KO with Claw Slash, he doesn't need to rely on Dangerous Rogue next turn. So, he's played 3 items. That's 60. Ugh. This is an awkward one, ladies and gentlemen. What do I do here? Do I just hit him for 60 and then KO him the following turn? Because he could be going up a bunch of prizes here. I think that's still probably the way to go. So, first things first, let's just get a couple of trades off. And see where we can go from there. Okay. Ugh. Oh, this is starting to get very risky in terms of what I actually want to do here. I think I've got to attack the active. Okay, so what are we up to now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm hitting 100. So I think now I can just attack with Garboda, in which case I don't need to use Acid Spray. And I don't want to put down a double colorless energy because we're not ready. So we're going to Cynthia here. And we're just going to cross our fingers we hit a tool. That is not what we wanted, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't hit the tool, which means next turn Nick can just start going nuts again. Which is not what we wanted. We don't want Nick to get set up here. The edge we have over him is essentially the ability lock. So we can trash a launch and that's all well and good. But, yeah. Now, the good news is, next turn we can just get the KO again. Problem is, if Nick's able to dig and get himself a Guzma, he can go up by basically 4 prizes to 1. At which case, it's going to be very dodgy. This is probably... I mean, even Buzzwole decks and Lucario decks, you just don't care about when you're playing this deck. Because you're playing all the Psychic. You know, your opponent's items add up so quickly when you're playing Psychic decks. The issue is Lycanroc. Because 200 is such an awkward number to be able to hit, that unless your opponent just plays a bunch of item cards, you really are in trouble as you go through the game. So, if he's not got a Guzma, he's got to use Dangerous Rogue to get a KO, and that's fine by me. But he is going to be digging here for a Guzma, and there's a decent chance he finds one. At which point, although he would still need to retreat, or he could just get rid of this Garbodor. I really would like another Trubbish down. Not that we can do anything about that right now. There we go. You knew he probably had the Guzma there. And now he gets the retreat. And again, he's going up here. And then he gets the KO on Garbodor and goes kind of down to 1 prize. And at that stage, it's starting to look a lot less fun for us. We can still win this. But now we're in the kind of it's looking awkward phase. Yeah, I'm not loving my chances so much on this one now. But we can see where we go, and we're definitely going to end him this turn. That's definitely happening. But after that, I just think, because we really didn't get set up very early, I just think we've ended up in a position where we just don't have enough here. So we're going to end, and we've still got another trade after that. We just need a tool of any description. If we don't get a tool here, that's got to be game at that stage. I just don't see how we're winning if we don't turn off abilities. There we go. And actually, it's the best possible tool, because now my opponent does have abilities, but I will have abilities next turn. Thing is, now we're really going to be relying on Ace Roller and Guzma to try and win the game, and it's just... It's really asking a lot here. It's not that we can't win the game. It's that we need to end and Ace Roller and Guzma basically every game. And it's just going to be such a difficult thing to do that I just don't know if it's even going to be worth it. Doesn't mean we've lost. And let's not forget, my opponent still has been able... I keep saying my opponent like it's not Nick. Nick still hasn't actually used his Guzma, his GX attack here. I mean, neither have we, but we don't have a great GX attack. So Nick's down to 2 cards in hand here. So, we need an item. An item would be... Not an item, a tool. Okay, there we go. We're not using it yet. Using it now would be dumb. Problem is, I don't think we've actually got enough Guzmas to finish out the game. I think we've only got 1 more Guzma and we need 2. Unless we hit and then we Guzma. So... let's trade Cynthia, because we're just not going to need Cynthia anymore. Okay. Might as well get an energy down there. Pop a tool on him. And now we really are in just awkward territory now. It's basically try picking away and hope that ability lock... because the thing is, these Zoroark decks don't tend to play many many supporters. They tend to go light on the supporter because they're expecting to be able to trade all game. So hopefully here, what happens is, Nick hits me, I Ace Roller, Nick hits me again, I Guzma for... Nick hits me again but doesn't take the win, and I Ace Roller for the game, and I Guzma for the game. I should have a Guzma in deck, because I'm playing 4, assuming it isn't prized. And I can use my Field Blower to turn off my Garbodor. And he's got a large deck. He's got like 28 cards, hand and deck. And he's ability locked. And he's already used a... oh, now he's basically forcing me to have a Guzma. And I don't have enough Guzma to win this way, ladies and gentlemen. So, if Nick's got Fighting Energy Lycanroc, he wins next turn. And there's not... ah, darn it. No! No! Not that one! What are you doing to me, game? That's literally cost me the game. Because the 150 cannot be knocked out by a Zoroark. This one can. So I put the 150 one up. Nick wins if he's got that, but otherwise I win the game next turn because I can go and draw myself a Guzma. I'm so upset. That was not a misplay. That was a misclick. Now, if he had Energy Lycanroc, it's kind of a moot point anyway. Because he was going to win the game. Oh! Okay. So, let's find out what he did. Because there's nothing I can do here. Anything else I put up, he can KO. Oh. Oh, so Nick didn't have game. We actually would have won. Ah, nothing we can do, ladies and gentlemen. So we win the game, except I don't know what happened. I was dragging the card over, and it just picked up the wrong one. That is so upsetting. So after all the ridiculousness and me whiffing energy and Nick whiffing Zoroark and me turning off both our abilities and crossing me fingers and all of that, I lose the game on a misclick. But it doesn't really matter because we know what happened. We know, ladies and gentlemen, we got the information. Cheers to Nick for being a lovely man, a good sport, and agreeing for me to put this up. I mean, I could have put it up anyway and Nick would have forgiven me, but Nick agreed because Nick is lovely. Also, the whole HeyNick thing on this channel. Hey Nick, it's him! You know the deal by now, ladies and gentlemen. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and follow on Twitch at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio for some more action in the future. And do check out patreon.com/PTCGRadio. That's where you can go to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.